So now we're going to talk about formatting text. And before we jump into how to format text, I want to make a couple points. In the last exercise, we talked a little bit about elements that will automatically have content that come after them, start over on a new line. Well, I wanted to mention to you that if you want a new line or space to be in your website, you can't just go into your HTML file and let's say hit the space bar or hit return. The way it's set up, the browser will actually ignore any white space that you create in your HTML file, and it's only going to create a space or a new line if you tell it to. If you give it an element that makes it do that, or you give it some type of command like we did to make it do that. So these elements, like the H1 element, that have content that automatically, that when the content comes after that, whatever comes after that starts over on a new line, well, these are called block elements. And a block element essentially takes up all the space, if you will, that's allotted to it on the screen or that's allotted to it within the file, and then any content that comes after it starts over on a new line, automatically starts over on a new line. So that's what a block element is. So the paragraph element is like that. Anything that comes after it will start over on a new line. The H1 element and the heading elements are like that. And there are several elements in HTML that are actually block elements that are like that. So what we'll do now is we'll talk more about just some other elements you can do to format your text, if you will. So let's say right here we want to make something bold. You can make things bold with HTML. You can also do that outside of HTML, but with HTML you can make things bold. And in order to do that, you do that with the bold element. And it's the same kind of format, the same kind of pattern. You have the word or the content you want to be bold. You have the opening part and you have the closing tag of part of this bold element. Anything within that will be bold. And so typically you use this type of formatting within another element. So we have this paragraph element here, and here it says in this section I'm going to write a word in bold. And you can see it would show up on the screen just like this. I'm going to write a word in bold. Anything inside that bold element will be bold. There's one thing to notice about these type of elements, these type of formatting elements. They generally are inline elements. That means that the content that comes after them does not start over on a new line. It just keeps flowing in line with a line that it's written on. It doesn't have content that automatically flows over on a new line after it. And so with that being said, if you use the bold element here or the italicized element, the same kind of format and content pattern goes there. The text, the content goes here, and the opening and the closing tags go on either side of it. And this would make a content or text italicized. And this right here, this mark element, will make anything in here highlighted. And we're going to see that right now in this next exercise.